Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. So today I want to talk about one of the things that I want to focus on for the channel and at events this year. So we're going to have a sort of showing of purchases and a little bit of a vloggy going on, see if I've made a terrible decision or whether this could work out. So going off topic just for a minute, so this is all on the GoPro. I need it for the video and I'd left it downstairs, so I come to pick it up, and when I did I found that there was a rabbit inside a bag of hay having a good old time. So I thought I might as well show you that. Okay, with that little distraction out of the way, let's start with the video. So as you probably guessed, this has to do with my little GoPro here. And the thing I want to focus on more this year and want to make more random videos of is vehicle footage. So going out for rides in the Jeep, if I get the opportunity to go into other vehicles at events, get some cameras on them and record that sort of thing. And a couple of years ago, I bought this GoPro here. This is a Hero 11. To do that exact sort of thing, but I haven't really used that much. I mean, we've done a few little rides here and there, and we did the shows at Armourfest with the off-road and then the battle footage and that sort of thing, but that's the only real time I've used this. So there's a few problems with this little fella that basically would just put me off picking it up and just taking it out whenever I went for a ride to make a little bit of content for you guys to watch. I had a few comments saying, are you going to do more like Jeep ride-alongs and stuff like that? So some people enjoy it, so it's worth doing. But there's a few problems with the GoPro. Now, I love the images that we were getting out of it. The footage looked okay, got the settings dialed in, but there are some issues. So, I mean, the main problem with it, for me, is the audio and the reliability. Now, GoPros, they're fairly stable, but they do sometimes just lock up. And these problems go hand in hand, by the way. And the audio, obviously, when you're in a vehicle and there's wind blowing around all over the place, it's going to be horrendous. So you need to have like a second microphone plugged into the GoPro that you can kind of hide out the wind or have it strapped to you or something like that just to make it better. So the only way to do that is to put this little media mod jibby on here with it, which gives you a better microphone if you want to just put this somewhere, and also lets you plug another microphone into the back of it if you want better microphone quality and to hide it like somewhere where the wind's not blowing around the Jeep. But then you've got cables tethered to this, and if you want to then put this like on the side of the Jeep or that sort of thing, you really just asking for trouble. There's going to be stuff flapping around all over the place and it's just a bad idea. And also the media mod tends to make GoPros get pretty hot for extended use. So if I'm going out recording for like 1 hour, then this is going to get hot inside the media mod and that might have problems. Also, when the mod's on, you can't remove the battery, so if it does freeze up, which GoPros sometimes do, you've got to remove the whole bloody thing. So you'd have to unscrew take it off the magnet on the Jeep, unscrew all this little mount down here, pull the whole thing off, and it's just basically a pain in the ass. So I want to try something that would give me better results, or at least the same results, but with much easier use, so I can just pick it up, stick it on the Jeep, and off we go. So my answer to these problems is this little fella here. This is the DJI Action 4, and this should solve pretty much all the issues I have. So I thought I might as well show you what I've got, unbox it here, and go and do some tests and something like that. Another issue with the GoPro, if you want to have the microphone and everything on it and you want to use the media mod, you then can't put it in a cage. So then it's not so protected if you want to like magnetize it underneath the Jeep or underneath something to see suspension, that sort of thing, which I thought would be cool. You've got it more exposed if it drops off, which I didn't like, and you'd also bust the media mod as well, which would obviously mean you'd then broken even more equipment. But with this little Action 4 here, you can actually attach a wireless microphone, or I should say connect the DJI wireless microphone to the Action 4 without using any cables or anything like that. It attaches directly. So I can pick this camera up, put it on the magnet on the Jeep, anywhere on the Jeep, and have the microphone on me. No wires, you got good quality sound wherever you go. Alright, so what we got here. First box I believe is the actual camera itself. Yeah, that's it. So the Action 4 isn't the newest DJI Action cam. There's an Action 5 and I believe very soon there'll be an Action 6. But that is one of the reasons I got the 4. And I did a load of comparison videos, and the image straight out the 4 actually looks better than the 5. And because the 5 is out and the 6 is probably not going to be long, these have just been reduced in price like quite a lot. You can buy just the camera on its own for like just under £200. So if these do fall off and break, that's not catastrophic loss compared to a GoPro where it's going to be like £300+ and then you've got to buy all the bits and pieces for it as well. The GoPros are bigger than the Actions, and when you put them in a media mod or a cage, they become even bigger. So this thing is little tiny. So if you imagine we've got little tiny hair, if I can get it to focus, which I probably can't, enter B-roll somewhere here. But anyway, you put that next to the GoPro with the media mod, and you see that's almost, well, it's a good third smaller. So that's less conspicuous for a start, and when you put it on the Jeep, you've just got this tiny little thing on top of a magnet, which I'll show you. I'll get some B-roll when we're doing some tests. So its size is way better, and it comes with a little protective cage thingy, so you don't have to spend another 50 quid or whatever they cost for a good one for a GoPro. You've just got a little basic one which will do the job most of the time, included in the packet. So yeah, you've got this dinky little cage that you can put this in straight out the box without any extra money. So it looks like you just kind of flick a little lever up and then this should drop straight into it, he says. Of course, it does normally help if you don't put it in backwards. So we'll try that again. And then that kind of just clicks in. That's not too bad at all. So that's still tiny. So now if we compare it with its little case to the GoPro, you've still got a little bit of space saving. And that's ever so easy, just take it in and out. That's cool. I will be probably getting one extra cage, a proper like metal one, for whichever camera I decide to like attach underneath the Jeep. Because if it's really good, I'm going to pick up a couple more so we can do stuff. So what else we got here? This is just a little magnetic clip that goes on it. You don't need to worry about that. They're just the sockets, an adhesive strap that I'm never ever going to use. And then in here we should have all the batteries and bits and pieces. So we've got instruction manuals that we don't want right now. We've got some little glass protectors for the lens. We aren't bothered about that right now. Another connector, USB cable, some silicone gel that no one cares about. And this, which brings me to another one of the reasons I got this over some more GoPros. So in this little bag, right, get rid of you, this here is 3 batteries for the camera. So, and the battery in this lasts longer than the GoPro's, and you get 3 of them in here, and this all cost like 20 quid more than just a GoPro on its own, and GoPros have notoriously bad battery lives. So yeah, you got this little chargy case with 3 batteries in it that you can get like 2 hours of each on this apparently. And the last thing you get with the extended pack, like the Adventure Wombo combo as I'm going to call it, is a selfie stick. Now this is okay. You pop your camera on it. It's another reason I went for this over the GoPro. I want something tiny, like a GoPro, or in this case an Action 4, that I can just shove in a bag, have with me all the time at events, can just grab it, wander around, not have to worry about camera shake and all that crap, not have to worry about audio because we're going to have a little wireless mic connected to it, not have to worry about cables, just have on something like this, and this should, yeah, oh my, go quite long. So if we're like at an event, just getting some footage, I can crank that on the end of this and then hold this over the top of vehicles to get some cool shots and that sort of thing. So I just thought that'd be worth grabbing it. Probably worth taking this crappy bit of packaging off there as well. I'll worry about that later. So here's another reason I went for this over more GoPros, and especially as like the primary, if you like. The mounting system. GoPros you always have to fanny around, unscrewing bits and pieces to put them on the mounts. The little Action 4 has a different system. It has a magnetic base and it uses the same mount as a GoPro, but if you've say got one of the magnets set up with an articulated arm, you'd leave this mount on that arm all the time because you get a couple with it, and this just magnetically clips onto the Action 4, and once you've done it a few times I'm sure you get used to it. So you can just say you want a couple of things on the Jeep. You have your ball head here, your articulated head somewhere else, you want to get a bit of footage with this. You have one of them, you just clonk it down there, and then the other one, when you want to change it, you take it off, and you clonk it onto the next one, and you don't have to worry about messing around. Though I'm sure I do need to get used to how that clips in, because I'm being a bit of a fanny about it at the moment. So it'll be easier to just like put it places, and you have one of these permanently on the stick as well. So if you want to go have a drive, you could just have one on the dash, and then if you see something, oh, I want to do that, quickly unclip it, clip it onto the one onto this, and then I can show you funky angles using the stick and that sort of thing. So, you know, it's just really ease of use. So what have we covered? We've got easier to move about. We've got bits and pieces that I can use at events to just get funky footage. We've solved the audio issue straight away with the little microphone, which I'll show you in a minute, I should think, if I can get my words out and the phone will stop going off. So yeah, they're the main reasons. And I suppose last couple of things is the GoPro, as I said earlier, gets very hot inside the media mod, and they get hot in general anyway. These don't tend to have a problem from what I've seen online. I can't see anyone saying these have a problem with heat. And also these are known to be extremely reliable, whereas GoPros have got a bit of a reputation for freezing. Now, I've only had that happen a few times with mine, but if you're at an event, if you've took 3 of these or these to an event and you're doing some arena stuff, you might get a chance to have a ride in an armoured, you know, a nice truck or a Sherman or whatever things happen in the future, and you set everything up, and then you check and one of them or multiple of them has frozen up or lost the footage or just overheated and shut down, you're going to be pissed off. And that's one of the things that put me off, you know, randomly trying to do stuff for this. So before I go and set this up and go change some settings and make sure it's all okay, I'm just going to quickly show you the little microphone, because this is very cool. Okay, so this here is DJI's little mic mini. Literally the mic mini it's called. Now this I think was very cool, and this is actually going to replace the Bluetooth microphone that I've been using for years when I go and do certain things, like when I'm out on the Jeep with my little ZV-1. I'm going to sell that, which will pay for this, and replace it entirely, because I think the sound from this is actually going to be better from what I've told on, or what I've seen online. So let's quickly just open this up. So basically in here you've got 2 little microphones and a receiver that goes onto the camera, and a little charging case and cable and some air muffs and all that sort of stuff. So I'm not going to run on about this, because this isn't like a camera review channel or anything. I just wanted to do a little vlog and share the new stuff I got for getting some more footage this year. So inside the little pouchy, we've got the little box that's got everything in it. And we've got a cables and wind protectors. We don't want to worry about any of that on this channel, I don't think. So anyway, in this stinky little case here, see, it's not very big. It's actually, you know, not that much bigger than the actual camera. So inside here, this is the first time I'm seeing this, you got everything in a little charging case, and I think this might be used as a power bank as well. So you've got 2 little microphones, and they are actually tiny. So this little microphone, that's minuscule and you can just put anywhere, connects directly to the little camera, has a range of like 100 meters or something really stupid. It's got a little magnet on it, so you can like stick it down your top and whatever. So when you want to go out in a Jeep, you just put this wherever you want, and you put this on yourself with its little wind muff, and you're going, and you've got good quality audio. You aren't tethered to anything. You don't need to like do any editing in post like from a secondary recorder. Like if I had my other Bluetooth microphone, I could record straight into that and then do it all on the computer and edit and all that crap. And what's the point? You just have this little thing and your camera, and you can do whatever you want. And also when you're at events, and this is quite a big deal because you try and be a bit inconspicuous, you just have this little thing on you somewhere which people aren't going to really notice, I shouldn't think, and you've got your little camera on the end of your stick. How you literally can't get easier if you want to like go and do stuff for your little channel, like what I want to do for you guys. Because I've got this like the lovely camera that we're using here and my little ZV-1, and they're lovely, and like the footage from this is amazing. If I learned to use it properly, yeah, it'd be brilliant. But at events for the tanks and stuff, it's really good, and I've been really happy with it. But you start walking around with a proper you know, like professional looking camera, you feel a lot more self-conscious. I feel a lot more self-conscious. It's a lot more hassle. You've got to sort out which lens you want, and you know, you've got a bigger bag and it weighs more, and you're not going to stick it on the end of a stick and then, you know, hang it over and risk like having damage done to it. And what I've noticed is that ends up that I just don't do anything. I don't make the content at events. So this, I'm hoping, will solve that, because the picture quality, obviously the picture quality on this isn't going to be as good as the picture quality on the A6700. You'd have to be an idiot to think it was. But the videos I've seen, a lot of them, and some of them really good, like tutorials and people that use this for vlogging and that sort of stuff, you get the settings dialed in. I was like really impressed. And like I say, I like the footage on the GoPro, but it's going to be as good, if not better. And the weird thing about the 4, as opposed to the newer 5, is that whenever I look at them, I think the 4 actually looks better. So it's like half the price, and and I think it's better personally. There's a few little downsides, but I just don't care for the money. So yeah, I'm going to go set this up now, connect it to my phone, do any updates and everything, and hopefully there'll be no issues. And then I'm going to take it out for a little wander around and get some test footage, and we'll see what it does. So I took a trip out into the countryside and visited an old church that I like to walk around. Took a little bit of footage of the church, so I thought I'd see what that all comes out of. Just a bit of pan and motion, but really just get a hair wander. We're on a very rough track now, in a public footpath between a couple of fields, and I'm really stomping around, so I'm not being careful at all. I'm just thumping my feet about like the oaf that I am. Okay, this seems like a good place to do some testing. So we've got some trees and bush on the right hand side. Obviously the sun's right over there. So if you're pointing it directly at the sun, this is the sort of dynamic range you'll get if you're driving the Jeep and you've got like the sun in front of you, the bushes on one side, just to see the amount of detail that's in the bushes. And then as you turn away from the sun, that's like the sun side on. This is good because it's mega bright compared to mega dark. So, and then now we got the sun behind us, which is what action cams really like. So we see the amount of detail we'll get in the clouds and the sort of dynamic range and that sort of thing. This is all camera nerdy stuff. I know this isn't what this channel's for, but well, it is for the channel. So I thought I might as well waffle and do some vlogs, and I'll be doing more stuff like this, by the way, because I just enjoy it. So now, if my eyeballs can handle it long enough, we're going to do the same test, but for pointing the camera at me, obviously, as you can see. So now the sun is right over there, shining straight into my face, which again is ideal for an action cam. So we're going to take a little wander and see how it exposes the face and what the background like behind. Pretend that there's tanks and shit behind me. It's the idea. Or vehicles if you're in the Jeep driving down the road and stuff. And then you go to the side. And then when you've got to have the sun right facing the camera, this is the big test to see if it actually can expose my face or anything at all. And then you've got sun from the other side, obviously. Okay, so we're at the place where I was going to come and do the tent setups and machine gun nests and that sort of thing, videos when I get a chance. So we're going to do the same walk a couple of times, because I want to test the standard, what you get out of the camera, with the settings that I put in, which is what you're looking at now. So this is looking at the sun, obviously, with the standard in camera settings. So we're just going to follow these tracks down to the end here, turn around and come back, and then we're going to do the same thing again, but in the other profile, which is D-Log-M, which won't mean anything to most of you, but that's the profile where you make a colour grade it and everything yourself, and you get better results. So let's have a little wander. Should do. Then turn around, have a little wander back, so we can see what it's like for all sun angles, if you know what I mean. And let's know what the audio is like as well, because again, we've got no noise reduction or anything on here. I just put the wind muff on, but it's not a particularly windy day, because when at events I don't want noise reduction on, because I want you to be able to get the ambience of the people chatting and the vehicles and stuff around. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to find the wooded area that I'm allowed to walk around in, and we're going to do some bit of footage in the woods, get the selfie stick extended over some cool bits that are out in them woods and see what that looks like. And then I think we're basically done for the testing, and I'll have an idea of what we're going to do. And then I'll do another video where we can compare this directly to the GoPro set up in the Jeep to see what the footage driving is actually going to be like, and see if this is in fact better or worse than the GoPro. So I'll see you in a minute. What I've got there, now if you can see little Ratty, he's right next to me. Where'd you go, little buddy? There he is, look at that. I can see you, mate. You're not hiding from anyone. Because in theory it means like he's down there. I can push this all the way in through these bushes. And we can see little mate. There you go. Oh, we're going to try something silly now. We've got the camera upside down and I'll spin it around in post. We're just going to lower it into the stream here and see what the footage comes out like. Because obviously I've never done anything like this with my bigger cameras, because that would be absolutely stupid. So there we are, we're just on top of the water and we spin around and bring her back up. So now we're just doing a test with the stick out full extension up high. So this is a bit different, isn't it? For me anyway. Ooh, underneath the trees. Alright then folks, I think that's basically all the testing I needed to do for this. Keep thinking I need to look at the camera to get the microphone to work, but of course I don't, because the microphone is right here. So hopefully this is looking alright anyway, and hopefully it means we're going to get some really good little vlogs and stuff at events where I can just pull this out. This is so simple. And then we can get some nice cool vehicle footage and all sorts of things going on, because I mean, compared to the GoPro, this is just so simple. Pull it out, magnetically stick it onto the magnet or whatever, don't have to faff around with anything, you know it's not going to crash, it hasn't got hot, and I'm doing everything at 60 frames a second, which I normally won't, but that pushes the camera even further, so that's good, a good old little stress test. It's a pretty warm day today as well, with the sun out, so this should be a good test. Certainly a good test of my lack of fitness, as you can probably hear me huffing and puffing away. So now we're in a different environment. We're just going to do another quick D-Log-M versus normal profile test. Just walk to there, have a look into the side. Then get to the old pallet, turn around and go back, so we've got the sun in both directions. Oh, I realise this video's gone on for way longer than, well, probably no one's still watching, but I'm having fun making it anyway, so does anything else really matter? Right, that's definitely it for testing. I'll stop messing around now. Okay, so I've had a chance to review the footage from the little Action 4. A few things I've noticed. Colours and everything are nice straight out of the camera, but the D-Log-M, when graded, as you saw in the comparison, I think looks cleaner and a little bit nicer for the eyes, so we'll be going with everything in D-Log-M. The little microphone is brilliant, really happy with how that worked. Might have to just tweak the settings, lower the gain a little bit, just so that doesn't seem so overbearing and stuff like that, and I'll test that more. And I think that's about it really for the little Action 4. So use everything in D-Log-M. We're going to reduce, I'll go and do some more testers, reduce the exposure a little bit, because it makes everything a bit too bright. But you can change that, and that's like a known thing. Face, on the footage of the face, you can see that's way too bright. So we'll tone that down a bit, and then I think we're basically set. So what do you guys think of the little camera and what we should do with it? You give me some feedback and ideas, but I think anyone who's looking for a camera to fit on their vehicles, or just to have a tiny little thing like this to take to them with events, I think for the price, this is pretty hard to beat. However, they're not going to be around much longer. Places are starting to run out of stock already, because this is end of line, because it's already been replaced once, and there'll be another one soon, an even newer version. But for the price, I really think this is a sweet spot. So to all of you that have watched all the way to the end, thank you very much. Help me out with a bit of feedback and your thoughts on it, and I'll see you again very soon.